Welcome to another episode of Stache Sports. The Penguins are in a big game tonight as they're looking to come back from a 3-0 deficit and tie it at 3 games apiece. Let's hope the Penguins can win tonight and tie it at 3 games apiece because they're playing the Philadelphia Flyers in Philadelphia, and the Philadelphia Flyers are going to want to come back and make it a game tonight. We'll see what the Penguins can do. This Penguin team this year has been really unpredictable. A lot of people didn't think they could make it this far and come back after being down 3-0. A lot of these experts, but now they're only 1 game away from tying it up and forcing Game 7 in Pittsburgh. Luckily, they won Game 5 in Pittsburgh, and it looks really good. Hopefully, they play again tonight and look really good because they show they can have it, unlike the Celtics we'll get into later on. But let's hope they can look good tonight. I mean, the Penguins are coming off a good win, 3-2 win, even if it's a lucky bounce in here and there. If I got them to win, they still win a game. It came off of that. So let's hope they can get in Philadelphia's head and get another one in Philadelphia, because the Penguins have definitely shown that they are one of the highest scoring teams this year. So let's see it. Tonight, if they need a win, they need it. Tonight, the keys to winning for the Penguins tonight, it should be good if they get on the man advantage, the power play. The Penguins' power play has not been good this year. And if they can fix that and they can get good on the power play, then that'll be really good. They don't need to keep on passing on the power play. They just need to keep shooting at the net, because you never know if we get a lucky bounce or what goes in. And yes, I know sometimes you need to have a clear view sometimes and good options to pass the puck in there and get the puck into the net. And sometimes the lanes aren't clear and there's no clear view for the net. But the Penguins do get on the man advantage. They need to take their time and need to shoot on the net and get shots on the net, because you never know what's going to go in. They also need to get on a good hot streak. They need to start the game off with a goal to help the fans turn on the Philadelphia Flyers, because their fans in Philadelphia or something else. But the Penguins need to look good tonight. They need to go out in a fight no matter what happens. At least they made it this far, but let's hope it's not the end. Let's hope they can force a Game 7. But we're going to need help from other people like Anthony Mantha. Anthony Mantha, who's been the Penguins' #1 scorer all year. Or he's been not #1, but been one of the top Penguin scorers all year. But we got him a free agent, but on the preview deal, had been really quiet in the playoffs. I know we had an assist the last game in the playoffs, but other than that, he's been pretty quiet in the playoffs. We need him to have another big game tonight, and maybe he can have a goal to help the team. I would greatly appreciate that Anthony Mantha can have a goal. Or maybe young people like Ben Kendall. Ben Kendall, who is one of our young and upcoming stars, who we drafted 2 years ago. If Ben Kendall can show up tonight, that'd be good too. Ben Kendall has been one of our young and upcoming stars, but hasn't been looking good of late. So let's hope that Ben Kendall can look good. We need Ben Kendall to look good, or maybe Blake Lizotte that's been hurt and came back. We need Lizotte to look good. If Lizotte can look good and Lizotte can play well, that would help the Penguins. Or Chernikov, who we got from the Columbus Blue Jackets, he's been on a little slump in the playoffs too. We need him to look good. He was really good as a Malkin line. We'll see what line they put him in tonight with the Muse, but we need them to do good. We also need Arthur Sheeloff and an Artie party in the net tonight. We need Arthur Sheeloff to do good. And yes, the Edmonton Oilers put in Tristan Jarry a couple nights ago, and they went back to the goaltender, but the Penguins have not yet gone back to Stuart Skinner, because Arthur Sheeloff has been looking really good, and they've been winning late, so they don't want to change that pattern. So let's hope Arthur Sheeloff can have a big night. Arthur Sheeloff is a goaltender from the Penguins that we traded for and got this offseason. He's looking really good in net right now. Let's hope he can continue looking good. I know we gave up 2 goals the last game, but one of the goals was a quick goal, and there should have been defense on that. The Penguins' defense needs to play a lot better tonight if they want to win and hold off the Flyers. They need to have a good defensive game and make sure they don't give up anything and have a lot of turnovers. They don't need any turnovers, so that's not going to be a good recipe to success tonight for the game. The Penguins need to look good. But we'll see. It's going to be an interesting game because the Flyers are going to go away quiet, even though they're an annoying little team from that crappy city in Philadelphia. So we're not going to go down quiet. So let's hope the Penguins can look good tonight. We need Ben Kendall to have a goal tonight. That'd be nice to see Ben Kendall get his first playoff career goal tonight. Or maybe Anthony Mantha can get his first playoff career goal. He had an assist, so maybe he gets to get a goal tonight. I mean, or Big Elmore, the big guy, maybe he gets another goal. He was one of the tallest guys to score for the Penguins, and maybe he scores again tonight. Maybe after getting a goal in the last game, that helped him get a goal tonight. Evgeny Malkin needs to play well tonight. He doesn't need to get any dumb penalties like he has been the last few games to put the Philadelphia Flyers in the man advantage. I know the Philadelphia Flyers are going to play dirty and try to get underneath his skin, because that's the way the Philadelphia Flyers play. But they don't need to get they don't. Evgeny Malkin doesn't need to start getting anything. Doesn't need to start getting on anybody's skin and starting any fights, because that's one thing the Penguins can't afford tonight. Is getting on the man advantage, getting down a man, and having to kill penalties. I know the Penguins' penalty kill has been pretty good so far, but you don't want to risk that tonight, and they must win Game 6 to force a Game 7. So let's hope the Penguins' temper doesn't flare. I know they're going to be tough because the Flyers like to play them tough and they like to get in their heads, but let's hope they can keep their tempers and win the game tonight. We need another big game from Sidney Crosby. Sidney Crosby has been looking really good the last few games. I'm really impressed. Sidney Crosby has really turned it around. The first couple games, Sidney Crosby didn't look like himself. It looked like maybe the injury he got might have been lingering, but luckily he came back from the injury. He got hit with a puck in the last game, but luckily he came back. He looked really good. It didn't look like that one affected him at all. So let's hope Sidney Crosby can have a good game. Sidney Crosby has been looking really good the last few games, so let's hope we can continue this. It'll be nice to see Sidney Crosby do good and have a good game again. Let's hope we can continue. But let's hope we can continue. It'll be great to see Sidney Crosby look good. I mean, Sidney Crosby has been looking good the last few games, but if he can continue, that'd be great. Maybe he can have another goal. He's going to be we need some starters come out in the 3 stars tonight and not be Crosby. I know I love Crosby, but I think the key to success is have one of these other guys that is not well known to have a big night tonight to help the beloved Penguins win and force a Game 7 and see if they can be one of 4 teams to come back from a complete 7-game series and win it in Pittsburgh on Game 7. But we'll see. We need some of these other players that they got this year to come through. Maybe like Blake Lizotte to come through tonight. We haven't really heard anything from some of these other Penguin players, so maybe they can come through. Evgeny Malkin needs to have a big night too. He needs to stay out of the penalty box and not get any dumb penalties. But we'll see. It's going to be a tough game tonight. But Arthur Sheeloff is playing a net again tonight, which is good, because Sheeloff has been playing well. I know. Even though besides the last game, the first 2 games, Stuart Skinner didn't look so bad, but I get why they switched it. They need to switch it to try to get momentum, and they did. They won the last few games. Would they be able to win another one? Noah Chara needs to do good tonight too. Maybe Noah Chara could be one of their stars that comes out. Connor Dewar has been looking a lot better. Connor Dewar's had a couple goals, so maybe he can get another couple goals tonight and help the Penguins force a Game 7. Or Ben Kendall. Ben Kendall's young and needs to look good too. Or Tommy Novak. We haven't really heard anything from Tommy Novak or Gerard. Gerard's been looking a lot better the last 2 games, but Gerard's defense has been really slow the few games before that. Maybe Gerard can have a good defensive game and maybe get a goal too. That's what the Penguins need. The Penguins need one of these other linemen to help. They just don't need to, or they need to rely on these 2 all-stars right here, Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, to help them win. But if they really want to win, they need to rely on some of these other players, like a Justin Brazeau. Justin Brazeau was signed in the offseason and looked really good in the regular season, but Justin Brazeau hasn't been looking really good at all right now in the playoffs. So he needs to turn his streak around and look good tonight and help the Penguins win. Or Chernikov, that we got from the Columbus Blue Jackets. He needs to look good too and help the Penguins. I mean, I know it's hard, but we need one of these Hayes guys to show up too. But we'll see. Anthony Manfred did have a career year and have the most points he has in the career, but he's been really quiet in the playoffs, and he's on a prove-it deal. Whether that's with the Penguins for more years or another team, he needs to show up tonight and show that he's worth money for whatever team decides to sign him next year, if it's the Penguins, whoever. But he needs to show up and look good. I mean, the Penguins need to look good. We need to have a good game by Arthur Sheeloff. Arthur Sheeloff needs to have one of his best game saving percentage tonight. He's been pretty good the last few nights and helped us win. But we need another good game. And hopefully, if they have an empty netter tonight, they can score. I know they had 2 empty netter tries, but the Penguins came up short. That will be help to get more insurance. Or we don't need to be in that. We need to be definitely winning in the 3rd period to help make sure that we force a Game 7. It's going to be rough tonight, but I know the Penguins can do it. The Penguins are one of the top scoring teams and have one of the top scoring teams in recent memory franchise history and the Sidney Crosby's career there. So they definitely can do it. They were one of the top scoring teams in the regular season. Who would have thought that the Penguins should be in the playoffs right now and be one of the top scoring teams? Even though the regular season doesn't count. It counts in the postseason. And right now the Penguins are playing a little hot right now, but they need to play a lot harder and play a lot better. Let's hope they can win. And let's hope they can do good. Maybe Alex Slenderbomb does good tonight too. Tommy Novak, Evgeny Malkin, Blake Lizotte hasn't been playing the last few games, so maybe he can get back in the group tonight after playing a couple games because Blake Lizotte got hurt and wasn't able to play the last few games. But the Penguins are back in it and have people in Pittsburgh having faith again, like myself, but they can force a Game 7. I mean, I know it's hard. Only 4 teams out of 250 ever came back from a 3-0 deficit, but the Penguins are tied 3-2 right now in Game 6. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. I know the Flyers are going to want to close it out in that crappy barn in Philadelphia, but we'll see. The Penguins are playing tonight at 7:30 on TNT Sports Network. I think they'll win tonight. I think Crosby has a big night. I think Evgeny Malkin has a big night. But I think Anthony Mantha is a difference maker, or Ben Kendall. One of those two will be the difference maker tonight to help the Penguins force a Game 7. I mean, we do need that. We do need one of our other lines to show up. We do need good defense on all of our lines to make sure they protect the net and don't let any easy goals go by Arthur Shields. Help Arthur Shields, and he can help you too by having great blocks. But we need that. The Penguins need to have good blocks and help Arthur Shields. But I think the Penguins win tonight. I mean, I think the Penguins win all the nights, but there's a reason. Stache Sports is not a Philadelphia fan. In Pittsburgh, they told not to like Philadelphia teams, no matter my friend Robbie gets that or not. But I think the Penguins win tonight. I think they force a Game 7. I think the Penguins are playing hot right now, and I think they're on a hot streak right now, so I think the Penguins win. I think Crosby has a good night. I think Malkin has a good night, and I think Ben Kendall or Anthony Mantha have a better night too to help the Penguins win. I think the Penguins look good tonight and force a Game 7 and give us hope that we could be one of the 4 teams, make it 5 teams to come back from a 7-0 deficit and win. But it all starts tonight. When they still have one job to do to at least get to Game 7, a winner-take-all type of game. But we'll see. I think the Penguins do good tonight. I'll be watching the game, hopefully rooting for the Penguins and hoping they win. Wearing my Sidney Crosby jersey, but we'll see. I think they will. I think the Vegas Golden Knights beat the Utah Mammoth tonight. And I think the Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Canadiens. The Tampa Bay Lightning are up. Well, that series is tied at 2-2, so that series will be going at least to 6 games. This Game 5 right now, and the Utah Mammoth are in Game 5 or Game 6. Oh wait, the Utah Mammoth are tied 2-2. Excuse me, and so were the Tampa Bay Lightning. So that's both for Game 5. I think the Vegas Golden Knights beat Utah, but Utah has been looking really good. But as you don't know, the Utah Mammoth used to be the Arizona Coyotes, but the Arizona Coyotes relocated to Utah because Arizona wanted to build them a new stadium. So the Vegas Golden Knights are playing a relocated team. And the Vegas Golden Knights are a team that got added a couple of years ago because they needed to add more hockey teams. The Tampa Bay Lightning have been there for quite a while and they're playing the Montreal Canadiens. The Edmonton Oilers won last night. They won 4-1. Like I said earlier in the video, they didn't play Tristan Jarry last night. They played Tristan Jarry, who they got from the Pittsburgh Penguins, who I was glad they got rid of because Tristan Jarry wasn't that good for the Penguins. But they played Tristan Jarry the other night, and they lost 4-3 in overtime to the Anaheim Ducks. I know he gave 3 goals, and the last one was a really hard goal, but he even had a good review, but he didn't play last night. The Boston Bruins won 2-1 in overtime last night against the Buffalo Sabres, forcing a Game 6. The Dallas Stars take a 3-2 series lead over the Minnesota Wild Game 5. The Minnesota Wild will take a 4-2 win over the Dallas Stars. I read that backwards, excuse me. And the Oilers forced a Game 6. But they were down 3-1. Last night they could tie it up and come back. But the Oilers forced a Game 6. Because Connor McDavid, they say, is supposed to be one of the best hockey players in all of hockey right now. But he has yet to win a Stanley Cup. And he's on the brink of elimination yet again. I mean, I know he went to back-to-back cups, but lost to the Florida Panthers back-to-back years for the last few years. But we'll see if Edmonton Oilers can make it again this year and make it to the Stanley Cup. But they have a really hard road ahead of them like the Pittsburgh Penguins do. But the Pittsburgh Penguins need to win tonight. They need to have a good night by the boys. The Penguins need to look good. Dan Muse needs to have a good coaching system tonight and make sure he can adjust on the fly if the Penguins aren't looking good. That's not what he's missed the first 2 games, but looking like so far he's good at adjusting on the fly during the Penguins game. So that's something that Dan Muse has done. But Dan Muse has turned the program around. Who would have figured the Penguins would be this far in the playoffs, let alone to force a Game 7, when a lot of experts thought we'll be stinking this year to have a first-round pick to get Gal McKinnon, or whatever his name is, the star player from Penn State. But it is nice to see the Penguins are doing good. I mean, the Penguins are looking really good right now. We're looking really good. But let's see if we can force Game 6. It's going to be rough. Hopefully it's a good game again like it was on Monday night or whatever night it was. The other night they played, or it's Sunday night when they play Monday night when they play Game 5. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. The Penguins are looking to force a Game 6 and wear those yellow uniforms yet again in Pittsburgh in Game 7. Game 7 will be Saturday night if they win, I think, or maybe Friday night. But I'm not worried about that now. I'm more worried about the Penguins winning and hopefully making another Penguins game this year and tying the series and making Philadelphia worry about whatever. But I think Crosby, I think Crosby and Malkin score. But like I said, we're going to need one of these every young players that great GM Kyle Dubas brought in. I mean, Kyle Dubas, our GM, should be GM of the year. He has turned his program around. It was supposed to be a rebuilding year, but the Penguins have made the playoffs and are 1 game away from tying up a series and going to Game 7. But that's all good and roses right now. I'll talk more about that tomorrow after the game, no matter what the outcome is tonight. But Kyle Dubas has really turned his program around. I mean, some of these free agent signings like Anthony Manva, Blake Lizotte, Brazal, however they say his name, they need to come through tonight too. They need to help their Penguins win. I mean, they looked really good in the regular season, but some of these players have not been producing well, in my opinion, and even though we're 1 game away from tying it up because we've had help from Sidney Crosby and some of these other players and some of these other ones. But some of these other players need to step up for the Penguins tonight to help the Penguins win. We need goals from other players tonight, and just our captain and our other players. We need other help from other players tonight. But the Penguins need to win tonight. They need to look good, but they need help. Like I said, from other players, they need a good defense. And if they did go on their power play, they don't need to go bad. For some reason, their power play in the postseason has gone downhill. In the regular season, the Penguins' power play was one of the best, and they were scoring a lot on the power play. I don't know what's happened in the regular season. I mean, I know that the Philadelphia Flyers goaltender is playing really good right now, but I just don't know what it is. If it's that or if they just keep passing. I mean, they keep passing a lot. I don't know why they keep passing. They just don't shoot on the net. And shoot on the net because you never know what goes in if you just keep hitting it towards the net. But the Penguins need to look good tonight, and they need to play better. They need to win again tonight. But like I said, I keep preaching about they need to have help from one of these other players on their bench, and they don't need to have help from. We need to have help from one of these players on their bench and one of these players they signed. I mean, they also need Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin and Chris Letang and Brian Rush to do good too. Some of their all-time favorites and all-time classic players, but they also need help from outside players. Some of these new guys they got. Anthony Manfa. I mean, Anthony Manfa, like I said, has been one of the top. Had a lot of goals for the Penguins, but had been really quiet besides his assist in the last game, which definitely helped the Penguins win. Because it's 1 of 3 goals to help the Penguins win. But he definitely needs to show up tonight and will look a lot better. I mean, that's one thing the Penguins have been missing. It's Anthony Manfa scoring. Anthony Manfa needs to look good tonight. And Ben Kendall's one of these young guys. He needs to have one of these young guys' careers, have one of his best playoff hockey games to date tonight when they play against the Philadelphia Flyers of Philadelphia at 7:30. He needs to look good tonight too. Or we even haven't heard about Jason Barzal. Where's Jason Barzal been? Jason Barzal has been one of these decent additions too by Kyle Dubas. And all these Toronto Maple Leaf fans thought Kyle Dubas was a problem. But Kyle Dubas has been looking really good as a GM and really helped turn the Penguins around. Let's hope we can help turn the Penguins around and force Game 7. But we're going to need help from these other playing players. We're going to need good defense. We're not going to need to get underneath their skin again in the pony box. Because these refs are going to definitely blow their whistle. They've been blowing their whistle a lot lately and are really strict on the rules this year in the playoffs for some reason than other years. I don't know if it's just this series because it's a Battle of Pennsylvania, but these refs have been really strict. These refs have been really strict in the playoffs. And the Penguins don't need to mess around with the refs. And the Penguins don't need to mess around with the refs. We need to make sure they help their case and don't get too many men on penalties or too many bad penalties. Because sometimes the refs are looking for everything, even if it's the slightest trip or slightest stick or whatever, slightest penalty they're going to call it. They're really pushing hard on the rules this year in the NHL playoffs. I know Laura Stanley's hard to get, one of the hardest trophies to get, but the Penguins are looking good. They're looking like they could force Game 7 in the early round, the first round of the playoffs. But we'll see. It's going to be a tough game tonight, and it's in enemy territory, but I think the Penguins win. Last night, the Boston Celtics had one job to do and finished the Philadelphia 76ers in one game. But they came up really short in the fourth quarter in Philadelphia. They came up short in the fourth quarter and only scored like 12 points. But it was really depressing to watch. I don't know why sometimes the Boston Celtics could look like they're going to beat them like in Game 5 or Game 4 when they beat them pretty bad and had a pretty big win, and then they come out flat in Game 5 and can't finish Game 5. I mean, I'm not worried about them now, but it's only up 3-2, and I think they can finish them off in Philadelphia tomorrow night when the Sixers play. But the Celtics need to look a lot better. I mean, they scored the most points in franchise history and had the biggest point margin in franchise history. A game win against the same team. So I don't know what it is. I mean, I know sometimes Philadelphia is better, and they did get Joel Embiid back. But the Celtics need to play better and not give up games like they did last night. I mean, they need to look a lot better. I think they will. I think Jason Tatum will get better. I mean, last night we were able to shut down Peyton Pritchard. Peyton Pritchard is one of the key pieces of the Celtics this year. They're able to shut him down. But let's hope the Penguins can win. I mean, let's hope the Celtics can win tomorrow. But tonight we have other NBA games to talk about. We have the Magic and the Pistons. Who would have thought the Magic, who were thinking about firing their coach this year, and might still fire their coach? It's one game away from moving to the second round. I mean, they're playing the number one seed, the Detroit Pistons, but the Detroit Pistons are not looking like the number one seed in all of basketball right now. They're definitely not looking like the number one seed. Or the Orlando Magic are just playing really hot basketball right now. I mean, that's true too. Like my dad would always say, it doesn't matter how you get in the playoffs. It doesn't matter if you're playing hot. And right now, the Orlando Magic are playing hot. I think the Magic win tonight, and I think they close it out in Detroit. It's going to be a good game, though, but we'll see. Or maybe Detroit wins and forces Game 6. But the Orlando Magic are 3-1 right now. And number one seed, I mean, the Detroit Pistons are 16-22 and 31-9 at home. And the Orlando Magic are 45-37 and 19-20 away. But that's interesting. Who would have figured, like I said, but the Orlando Magic are playing really good. But the Orlando Magic are playing well right now and looking really good. They're the only team from Florida right now in the basketball tournament. So maybe they can help support these Florida boys and keep winning. I mean, the Detroit Pistons need help from other players. Some of these players, like in the Penguins, that are looking really good, have been gone really short, I guess, have been gone really cold in the playoffs. But the Detroit Pistons need to look good tonight, or they're going to be done. And that'll be an upset. Who would have thought that the number 8 seed, the Orlando Magic, would be able to upset the Detroit Pistons? But that could happen tonight. The Raptors and the Cavaliers are tied to 2-2. The Cavaliers are looking really good, and so are the Raptors. I think the Toronto Raptors beat the Cavaliers tonight and go 3-2. I think there's a big game by the Scotty Barnes by the Toronto Raptors tonight, and helps the Toronto Raptors beat the Cavaliers tonight. The Lakers are up 3-1. The Lakers had a chance to sweep the Rockets, but the Rockets came back and had a big game. Would the Rockets have a big game tonight, or would they be able to sweep tonight? I think the Lakers win tonight, and I think they put them in bed. But who knows? I thought the Celtics won last night, and they didn't win. And they looked like Derek Carter had lights in the fourth quarter and forgot how to shoot. But we'll see. I think the Lakers win tonight. But I'm more interested in the Magic game because I can't still believe that the Magic are being the number one seed. I mean, the number one seed in the East, or in the West, excuse me, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the defending champions, swept their team and didn't even look back. They didn't even need to take a gentleman's sweep, which is 5 games, having one team to win 1 game just to be nice. They swept them. And now the Detroit Pistons are in a tough place. I know there's been a decent number of teams in the basketball world to come back down from a 3-1 series, but to come back from a 3-1 series, but they are looking really tough right now. I think but we'll see. The Pittsburgh Pirates have been on a losing streak. Hopefully they can turn around. Bubba Chandler plays tonight against the St. Louis Cardinals, and they need to win. The St. Louis Cardinals are one of the worst teams in the division, and the Penguins need to win because it's a division rival, and they need to look good. I mean, I know they've been looking good in the last few games, the last few series, but they've been on a really cold streak, and they need to get rid of that right now before it's too late. I mean, I know it's still kind of technically early in the season, but the Pirates need to start playing a lot better. But last night, even though they lost, our young shortstop, Connor Griffin, finally had his first home run in PNC Park. There's some more to come, but that's nice to see Connor Griffin have a home run, even though they lost, and they're scoring still. The pitching is what's matter. The first game, they looked really good, all the way up until they brought in Dennis Santana. Dennis Santana messed up that game in the first game. I mean, I didn't watch it because I was watching the Penguins game, but I turned it on and I saw them go back-to-back give up a home run to tie it 2-2, and they ended up losing that game 4-2. But for some odd reason, that was a bullpen game, and the bullpen was playing really good all up until and then when they put Dennis Santana in, and then Dennis Santana, who's supposed to be our closer, messed that up. I mean, we'll see. Santana needs to look better, or they need to put Juan Soto or Gregory Soto Gregory Soto, I think his name. Sorry, not Juan Soto. That's a different player. But they need to put Gregory Soto back into the mix and put him back into where he belongs in the closer role, and not worry about having Dennis Santana in there. Dennis Santana has another meltdown like he did the other night. I mean, it is rough to have I mean, I know the bullpen is rough. That's one thing the Penguins need to fix, Pirates need to fix to have a good year. But I mean, the other teams around them are doing good. Whoever plays around, they're finally having good offense, which is good because that's something the Pirates have missed last year. And I know it's still a young season. It doesn't matter right now, but they need to get out of this losing streak and need to turn it around. They need to look a lot better, and hopefully they turn it around for the near future because the Penguins are looking on a losing streak right now. But like I said yesterday, at least we're not as bad as the Boston Red Sox, who fired their whole coaching staff, or the Philadelphia Phillies, who fired their manager. We still have our manager and coaching staff, and we have more than 9 wins than some of these teams do. I mean, who would have figured that the Mets, who are one of the highest paid teams right now, behind like the Dodgers, Yankees, and other teams, but has a lot higher payroll than the Pirates, will only have 9 wins. I know the Mets have lost a couple players due to injury, but they have not looked good at all. I don't know what it is at the Mets. I don't know why they haven't looked good, but they're not looking good at all. I think the Indians will beat the Tampa Bay Rays. I think the Texas Rangers will beat the Yankees. I think the Blue Jays are going to beat the Red Sox. I think the Dodgers come back and beat the Marlins. I think the Cubs will beat the Padres. I think the Pirates will beat the Cardinals, excuse me. I think the Mets will beat the Nationals, but who knows? The Mets now are 10-19, so at least they got one more game. Maybe they finally won the game, but they do need to make a change. The Baltimore Orioles will win tonight against the Astros. The Mariners will win. The Phillies will beat the Giants. The Reds will beat the Rockies. The Tigers will beat the Braves. Or the Braves will beat the Tigers, excuse me. But the Braves are 21-9, 11-5 at home. They're looking really good. And a much crappy division because they got the Mets and the Phillies behind them, who aren't that good this year, and who have fired a manager, and one team that needs to fire the manager, the Mets. The Brewers are going to beat the Diamondbacks, and the Athletics are going to beat the Royals. And the Royals will beat the Athletics. And the White Sox, they beat the Angels. Well, we'll see. Justin Simmons, the safety for the Denver Broncos, retired today. What a great career he had. But we'll see. The Steelers still haven't heard anything from Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is still taking his sweet old time coming. But the Steelers did sign to a rare upon a UFA tender. A rare UFA tender. The Pittsburgh Steelers have formally offered quarterback Aaron Rodgers a U of A tender, a rare contract mechanism that will allow the team to retain certain rights to Aaron Rodgers throughout the free agency process. But we'll see. Aaron Rodgers needs to make up his mind, or they need to pass on from Aaron Rodgers, because we do have Mason Rudolph, Will Howard, and now we have Drew Howard. We need to look at the future, because the future is going to be what helps them. We don't need an old quarterback that's just going to retire next year. But we'll see. The Steelers have offered a one-year contract of 10% raise from his previous hire, which will be just over $15 million. Rodgers can sign a deal with any other team, and the Steelers and Rodgers can work out a different contract. He also still is free to speak of other teams until either July 22nd or the Steelers training camp. Geez, that's a long way away. Whichever comes first. Should Rodgers work out of a deal with another team, we cannot count towards a conspiracy. This would count towards adding more draft picks, and the formula that he signs elsewhere, the period the formula should apply to end for players in April, whatever. So I guess if we sign somewhere else before the deadline, we can get more draft picks in the future, maybe build up and get our future quarterback if we don't believe he's on the roster now. But I mean, Aaron Rodgers, you need to make up your mind, dog. This has been 2 years in a row. I'm getting sick and tired of it. I don't know why you always take forever to make up your mind. And take forever to make up your mind. And I don't know why you take forever to make up your mind. Either stay retired or come back and help a team. I mean, you don't even have to come to mandatory workouts. Just tell us already if you're coming back or not. And we can have rookie quarterbacks and Mason Rudolph take all the work and take all the reps and mandatory offseason workouts programs if you don't want to return. But we'll see. A lot of people still think Aaron Rodgers is going to return, but maybe they don't even know if he's going to return. I don't know what's going on with that. I just want Aaron Rodgers to make up his mind. But I'm more worried right now about the Penguins' playoff hopes, since they had lying on the balance tonight in the Game 6. Like I said earlier in the video, you can go back and watch. I really do think that the Penguins need to have a good night from one of these other Penguin players, other than Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. I think they need to have a big night from one of these other young guys or free agent guys that's trying to make a name for themselves and make a name for themselves and be on a different team next year, or even be on the Penguins to get a contract extension. Like Evgeny Malkin, he's on the contract here. He's looking like he might play the Penguin. Hopefully plays for the Penguins next year, regardless of what happens tonight. But he needs to have a big night too. Or Anthony Mantha has been scoring a lot of goals. Anthony Mantha had been scoring a lot of goals in the regular season. Needs to look good tonight. But we'll talk more about this tomorrow. Thank you for watching another episode of Stache Sports. Thank you for watching another episode of Stache Sports. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. If you please like and share my videos so we can get out to more people and more people can see them. But thank you for watching Stache Sports. Like I said, we need the Penguins to win big tonight. That's a big game. Can they force a Game 7? We don't know. We'll just be watching on our TV to see if they can force Game 7. We need our captain to look good tonight and look like he's one of the greatest hockey players, which he is, to play tonight. We need Sidney Crosby, we need Evgeny Malkin, but we need help from other players, and we need to have a good goaltending game tonight. Arber Sheelock's been playing a lot better for the last few games. He needs to keep it up tonight and win. He showed before in years past a different team, whatever team it was, I can't remember now, but he showed in years past that he can help win playoff games. And he showed the last few games he can win playoff games. So they need to keep winning. I mean, the Penguins need to look good and need to keep winning. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. And yes, I know I said I'm done, but I'm going to keep going. I'll be done in here in a minute. But the Penguins do look good. Need to look good tonight. But this is it. Thank you for watching another episode of Stache Sports. If you have any comments or anything, please leave them down below.